Depression doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't. It's a seed that's planted there, and just like a tree, that seed is planted years in the making. And so after a while, this letdown on top of that letdown, because I guarantee if most of you go to the root of your depression, what you're depressed about has really very little to do with the surface issue that you quote unquote got depressed. I got fired from my job, and so I'm depressed because I can't find work. No, you're depressed because you feel like a failure, and getting fired from your job reminded you of when you failed other times before. So you have an issue with failing, not being fired from your job. You feel like a failure. And when something happens in this regard, it reinforces that idea of I'm a failure. So when you feel like you're a failure, you start embracing that and you start saying that to yourself, even though you may not say it out loud, but you feel that. And because you don't talk to anybody and you don't get that out, and you never dealt with the idea of being a failure, it causes you to repeat a cycle of actions, and you start doing things that have you spiraling out of control if you're not careful, when you have to get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is not being fired, or the root of the problem is not having work. The root of the problem is feeling like a failure. So how do I go back and deal with feeling like a failure? Well, I have to combat that with positive things. I have to reinforce certain things. I have to make a list. I have to start acknowledging what I did good at the end of the day. I have to do that. It's something it's hard for me to do, but I make a list, a productivity list that I check off of things throughout the day. If I have things I have to get done, I'm going to go live today. I'm going to do this. I'm going to work on my song. I'm going to record. I'm going to practice. I make a productivity checklist of everything that I need to get done for the day. And so as I move throughout my day, I check these things off the list. So at the end of the day, I can go back to that list and say, oh, you got that done? I know you set out to do 20 things, but you at least got 10 of them done, as opposed to getting none of them done. I say this all the time in your bass playing. You have to give yourself credit. One way of battling through depression is giving yourself credit for the good stuff that you do. Give yourself credit for the things that you're doing that's right. The good things that you're doing, give yourself credit for it.